I didn't think I'd end up holding my phone like that, hands trembling, heart pounding, recording the woman I gave everything to as she clung to another man like I didn't even exist. But there I was, in front of a dozen shocked faces, at a house party thrown by her coworker, and she was wrapped around him like a goddamn vine. The music was blasting, people were laughing, the drinks were flowing, and my life? It was detonating in real time. Her name's Kayla. Blonde, blue eyes, curves she flaunted like she was born to ruin men, and a tongue so sweet it could sell lies laced in poison. She was the kind of woman people admired. Confident, well-spoken, gorgeous, until you got close enough to see the fangs under that glossed-up smile. I was married to that venom for 6 years. And the guy she was with? Bradley Carter. Tall, gym-obsessed, smug bastard with the charisma of a used car salesman. He worked with her at that marketing firm downtown, the one she hated until she suddenly didn't. This wasn't the first time I had suspicions. Nah, the late-night work calls. The lingerie she claimed she bought for herself. The way she suddenly started locking her phone like she worked for the FBI. But every time I'd bring it up, she flipped it on me. Oh my God, Tyler, you're so insecure. You need to stop being paranoid. It's embarrassing. Maybe if you focus more on us instead of playing detective, we'd be closer. That last one stung. I started believing her. I thought maybe I was losing it. But tonight confirmed everything. My buddy Jordan had invited me to the party. Said it'd be fun to unwind. Kayla told me she'd be working late on a presentation. Something about a new client, some campaign, blah blah. She kissed me on the cheek like I was her brother and told me not to wait up. Well, surprise, bitch. When I walked into that party, I wasn't expecting her. I was hoping to take my mind off things. Grab a beer, shoot the breeze with Jordan, maybe flirt harmlessly just to feel alive again. But then I saw her, back turned, pressed up against Bradley, her dress hiked indecently high, grinding to the beat like she was auditioning for damn MTV. His hand was halfway down her back, dangerously low, and she was giggling, not nervously, no, intimately, and my heart stopped. For a moment, I thought I was hallucinating, but as I stepped closer, slowly, each foot like it weighed 50 pounds, I saw her face. That same smile she used to give me when she wanted to pull me into bed. That smile she swore was only mine. And now it was his. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I pulled out my phone. Record. The moment that camera started rolling, it was like something in me snapped into place. This wasn't just betrayal. It was exposure. I wasn't going to be the fool anymore. She was. I stepped forward. Kayla. She froze. Turned. Her eyes went wide, not in shame. Shock. As if I was the one who betrayed her. Tyler. What the hell are you doing here? Everyone turned to look. The music didn't stop, but the mood shifted like someone opened a freezer. Bradley had the nerve to smirk and drop his hands. Kayla stepped back like she just remembered she had a husband. I thought you were working late, I said, my voice even, but my hand gripping that phone like a weapon. But I guess this is the new overtime, huh? Her face twisted. You're recording me? Are you serious? Dead serious. What, you only get to lie in private now? I said, my voice rising. Smile for the camera, Kayla. Show everyone the faithful wife you pretend to be. Turn that off, Tyler, she snapped, lunging forward, trying to grab the phone, but I moved back. You're embarrassing yourself. No, I said, calm now, almost eerily so. You did that for me. The crowd didn't know what to say. A couple of people stepped away, pretending to check their phones. Jordan stood behind me, jaw clenched, like he wanted to deck Bradley on my behalf. You're making a scene, Kayla hissed. Can we talk about this at home like adults? You mean lie to me again like adults? I laughed, bitter, broken, done. That was the moment I knew. This wasn't a one-time thing. This wasn't a mistake. She didn't even look sorry, just caught. I walked out with the video still rolling, the echo of her shrill voice following me down the steps. I didn't look back, couldn't, but I knew this was just the beginning. The silence at home after that night was louder than any screaming fight we ever had. I didn't say a word to her when I walked through the front door, just headed straight to the guest room and locked it. I could hear her heels clicking behind me, her voice chasing me down the hallway. "Tyler, seriously? You're not even gonna let me explain." Explain what? That she decided to treat our marriage like a goddamn game show and I was the clown at the center? I lay there in the dark, staring at the ceiling. The memory of her pressed up against Bradley burned into my brain like a sick film reel. My phone sat on the nightstand, video still saved. I couldn't bring myself to watch it again. Once was enough. But that night, that wasn't the beginning. Not even close. Looking back, I should have seen it sooner. The signs were neon bright. She changed. Slowly at first, like poison dripping into water. Her laughter had a different tone. Her phone suddenly lived in her pocket, glued to her palm like it held secrets it didn't want me to know. And maybe it did. She started going out more. Girls' night. Client meetings. Work retreats. Each time I asked if I could join, she made me feel like I was intruding. "It's just boring office stuff, Tyler." Or my favorite, "God, you don't trust me at all, do you?" She turned it into a flaw I had. And I bought it. One night, about 2 weeks before the party, I woke up thirsty around 2 a.m. I passed the living room and saw light coming from her phone. She was on the couch, smiling, that soft, dreamy smile. She didn't notice me right away. But when she did, she jumped like I'd caught her stealing. "Jesus, Tyler, you scared me. Who are you texting?" I asked, groggy but sharp enough. She quickly flipped her phone down. "Nobody. Just work." At 2 in the morning? She rolled her eyes and stood up. "Go back to bed. You're being ridiculous." I should have asked for her phone. I should have followed my gut. But instead, I apologized. Like a damn idiot. "Sorry. Just forget it." She kissed my cheek and said, "Trust goes both ways, babe." She went to bed, and I stood there staring at the back of her head like it was a stranger's. That night planted the seed. After that, I started paying attention. I wasn't snooping, at least not at first. I just started watching more carefully. How her voice got softer when she picked up calls. How her texts made her smile but she'd never let me see. How our bedroom turned cold. Not literally, but intimately. Like touching me was a chore she barely tolerated. Then there was her wardrobe shift. She always dressed nice. Kayla was stunning, and she knew it. But suddenly she went from stylish to seductive overnight. Shorter skirts, tighter tops, lipstick every day. I asked once if there was someone at work she was trying to impress, joking. She laughed way too hard. That's when I knew. Deep down, I knew something was off. I just didn't want to face it. The week before the party, she told me she had to fly to Chicago for a conference. 3 days, all expenses paid. I offered to drive her to the airport. She blinked. "Oh, it's fine. Jessica's husband is taking us." Jessica. Another ghost I never met. Convenient. Huh? I said okay. But that night, I checked her suitcase while she showered. And right there, beneath a few pairs of jeans and makeup bags, was a pack of condoms. Unopened. We hadn't touched each other in weeks. My chest caved in. I didn't confront her then. I wanted to see how far she'd go. I needed proof. That's when I started digging. I checked our phone bill. She'd been texting one number over 400 times in the last 2 months. I called it Bradley Carter. That name hit me like a slap. I remembered him from the one time I picked her up from work. Smug handshake. Eyes that lingered too long. She told me he was married. "A total bore," she said. "You'd hate him." And she was grinding on him like he was her personal fantasy. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't eat the next day. My hands shook every time I looked at her. But I waited. Waited for that party. Waited for her to lie to my face one more time so I could rip off the mask in public and let the world see the monster I'd married. And she gave it to me, like she always did. Lies, lies, and more lies. She told me she was working late. Again. She kissed me on the cheek. Again. She walked out the door in that tight red dress like she was headed for war, and I followed her. I followed her to the party, to Bradley, to Betrayal. and I pressed record. Because I wasn't going to be the fool in private anymore. I was done playing blind. The next morning, Kayla tried to act like nothing happened. She waltzed into the kitchen humming like she didn't just destroy our marriage the night before. She poured herself coffee, leaned against the counter, and glanced at me like I was being dramatic. "You seriously still mad about last night?" she asked, blowing on her mug. It wasn't even that big of a deal. I was sitting at the table, phone in hand, the video queued up. I stared at her, quiet, letting her dig her own grave. She rolled her eyes when I didn't respond. "Oh my God, Tyler. You recorded it? Seriously? That's so creepy." "Creepy? You were grinding on your boss at a party, Kayla, in front of our friends. I didn't think I needed to double-check fidelity, but here we are." Her lips curled, annoyed more than ashamed. "You don't know what you saw. It was just dancing." I hit play. The moans in her voice didn't sound like dancing. The way his hands were on her, that wasn't a waltz. Her face changed when she heard it. Just a flicker, but it was there. A crack in her performance. Then, just like that, she shifted again. She slammed her mug down. "So what? You want to ruin my life over one night?" I stood up slowly, fists clenched at my sides. "It wasn't one night. It's been months, Kayla. I saw the phone records. I found the condoms. You've been cheating on me with him." Silence. Then she said, "You checked my phone records? Jesus, you're such a control freak." "That did it. You've been lying to my face for months," I barked, sneaking around like I'm too stupid to notice. "You gaslit me every time I asked a question, made me feel like I was paranoid. You trashed our vows like they meant nothing." She crossed her arms. "You act like I owe you a lifetime of loyalty just because you put a ring on my finger. Newsflash, Tyler, marriage isn't a prison. You haven't exactly been exciting to be with, you know?" That cut deep, like a blade to the ribs. "I work every day to support us," I said, voice shaking. "I show up, care. And you repay that by sneaking off to screw your boss in hotel rooms." Her face twisted into a smirk. "Bradley actually listens to me. He makes me feel wanted. You don't even look at me anymore. Because you were slipping away right in front of me?" I snapped. "Because every time I touched you, you looked like you wanted to be anywhere else." She shook her head and laughed bitterly. "Whatever. This conversation's going nowhere. You clearly made your mind up." I grabbed my phone, walked to the front door, opened it. "Where are you going?" she asked, like it wasn't obvious. I turned to her. "I'm going to show this video to your parents. To mine. To anyone who thinks we were some golden couple. You humiliated me in public. It's only fair they know who you really are." Her eyes widened. That finally hit her. "You wouldn't." "I would," I said coldly. "And then I'm filing for divorce. I'm done being your doormat." Her mask cracked for real then. Panic. "You don't have to do that. We can fix this. I'll stop seeing him. I swear." I tilted my head. "You already swore before. On our wedding day. That didn't stop you." She stepped closer, fake tears building in her eyes. I knew that act too well now. She had two gears, seductive and manipulative. "Tyler, I messed up, but I don't want to lose everything. We can go to therapy. Work on it. Please." For a moment I almost caved, but then I remembered the cold in our bed. The lies. The laughter she gave him that used to be mine. The way she danced like she was free, because she wasn't she? Free of guilt. Free of love. "No," I said. "You already lost me." I stepped outside and shut the door behind me. She didn't follow. I sat in my car for 20 minutes, just breathing. Everything was crashing down, but I wasn't drowning. I was waking up. I was done living in delusion. I texted my lawyer friend, Jason. Told him I needed a favor. Told him it was time. The video was still open on my phone. I hit play again. This time not out of pain. Out of proof. Because if she wanted to burn everything down, I was making sure she lit the match with her own hands. I didn't sleep that night. Couldn't. I just sat on the couch, staring into the nothingness of the dark room, trying to understand how I missed it. How I let her fake a whole damn life beside me. My phone buzzed around 2 a.m. It was a message from Kayla. Can we talk in the morning? Please. I didn't respond. What was left to talk about? She'd said enough with her body, with her lies, with every night she came home smelling like a stranger, and I convinced myself it was just perfume from the office. The next morning, I was already dressed and packed before the sun came up. Just a gym bag, clothes, chargers, toothbrush. Essentials. My buddy Jason had offered his guest room without even needing an explanation. He saw the video. That's all it took. As I zipped up the bag, I heard her footsteps behind me. She looked like hell. Makeup smudged, hair messy, eyes bloodshot. Probably didn't sleep either. Good. You're leaving? She asked, voice small. I didn't even look at her. What do you think? She walked around the table to face me, trying to search my eyes. I told you I was sorry. Kayla, stop. You're not sorry. You're just sorry you got caught. Big difference. She winced. You act like I planned this. Like I wanted to hurt you. Didn't stop you though. Did it? I snapped. Every text. Every night you said, I love you, while planning your next hotel meetup with Bradley. Don't insult me by pretending it was an accident. She looked like she was gonna cry. I just needed something more. You stopped being romantic. You never complimented me anymore. I felt invisible. That one hit like a gut punch. I turned toward her, barely holding it together. So instead of talking to me, you let some smug prick screw you in his office? She stepped closer. You don't understand. He made me feel wanted. Like I was alive again. I couldn't help it. I laughed. A cold, empty laugh. Wanted? You had a husband who loved you, who worked 10-hour days so you could live comfortably, who believed in you when you started your event planning business. I bought your camera equipment. I built your ing website. Her lip trembled. You didn't have to. Yeah. I whispered. I didn't. But I did. Because I loved you. We stood in silence. Just breathing. Just strangers now. She reached out to touch my hand, but I pulled away. She flinched like I slapped her. Good. I'm not coming back, I said. I'll have papers drawn up by next week. You'll hear from Jason. Her voice cracked. Tyler, are you really doing this? Just throwing it all away? I narrowed my eyes. I didn't throw anything away. You did. I grabbed my bag and walked past her. She tried one last time, grabbing my arm. Wait, please. We can fix this. I'll cut him off. Delete his number. Don't bother, I said without looking back. I already sent the video to his wife. She froze. I felt the grip on my arm go limp. I walked out the door. By the time I hit the street, my phone was blowing up. Unknown number. I answered. Is this Tyler? A woman's voice. Shaky. Hollow. Yes. This is Rachel. Bradley's wife. There was silence between us for a second that felt like the earth holding its breath. I saw the video, she finally said. Thank you. I didn't know what to say. I'm sorry you had to. She gave a dry chuckle. He told me he was working late. I believed him. Yeah, same here. Then she said something that'll stick with me forever. Men like him, and women like her, they think they're smarter than us. Like we'll never catch on. She was right. We hung up after a few minutes. No drama. Just shared pain. And maybe something more, vindication. By the time I got to Jason's, I felt like a different man. Tired. Hollowed out. But free. He opened the door with a beer in his hand and didn't say a word. Just handed it to me and nodded. That night, I crashed on the guest bed. For the first time in weeks, I slept. Not because it was comfortable, but because I was finally out of her damn web. The next few days were a blur of paperwork, phone calls, and silence. My lawyer, Jason, moved fast. Faster than I expected. Maybe because he'd known Kayla too, seen her mask, and now saw it cracked wide open. He didn't ask for details anymore. The video did all the talking. Meanwhile, Kayla kept texting. Long blocks of pathetic apologies. Half-baked promises. It was a mistake. I miss you. We can rebuild. Then it turned bitter. You're really gonna ruin my life over this? You're heartless. You're not perfect either, Tyler. Classic gaslighting. From regret to rage in 3 texts or less. I ignored all of it. She got silence. Just like the cold nights I spent wondering why she pulled away. Why she didn't look me in the eyes anymore. One afternoon, I went back to the house to grab some more of my stuff. Jason offered to come with me, but I needed to face it. Alone. For closure or whatever people like to call it. I opened the front door and immediately regretted it. She was sitting on the couch. Mascara streaked down her cheeks. Wrapped in one of my old hoodies like she had any right to wear it. She looked up, startled. "Oh, you came," she said, as if I still owed her conversation. "I told you I'd be back for my things," I replied, heading straight for the bedroom. She followed me. Of course she did. "You're really going through with it?" she asked from the doorway, arms crossed. I didn't look at her. "Already filed. Jason's handling it." "Jesus," she muttered. "We were married, Tyler. Does that mean nothing to you?" I threw a bag onto the bed and turned. Fire building in my chest. "You cheated on me, Kayla. You embarrassed me. In front of friends. Family. And then tried to lie your way out like it was nothing. What do you want from me?" She stepped into the room. "I want you to stop acting like this was all on me. You think you're some perfect husband? You think I didn't feel alone too?" There it was again. That blame shifting. The classic, "If you just loved me better, I wouldn't have let someone else inside me." I laughed bitterly. "If you were unhappy, you talk. You don't sneak around like some side character in a cheap soap opera. You don't fake your I love yous every night, knowing full well you're already in someone else's bed." Tears welled in her eyes, but I didn't buy it anymore. "Bradley's getting demoted, you know," she said suddenly. I paused, hand frozen mid-pack. "What?" "His wife sent the video to the board. The ethics committee's involved now. He might lose his position." I should have felt satisfied, but all I felt was numb. "Good," I said flatly. "He deserves worse." She stepped closer. "I didn't mean to fall for him. It just happened." That stung more than I wanted to admit. "So you did fall for him?" She hesitated. "I don't know. Maybe. I thought I did. But it wasn't real. Not like us. There is no us anymore. I still love you." I shook my head. "No, Kayla. You loved the comfort. The convenience. You loved having someone loyal while you explored your little fantasies." Her voice broke. "Please don't do this. We built a life together." "No, I built it. You used it as a safety net while you jumped into someone else's arms." She didn't speak after that. Just stood there while I zipped up my bag. On the way out, I passed the wedding photo in the hallway. Us on the beach. Big smiles. Fake future. I took it off the wall. "Don't," she whispered. I stared at the frame. "I'm not keeping it. I'm throwing it out. Just like the promises you made in it." She didn't follow me this time. When I left the house, I felt lighter. Not healed. Not yet. But lighter. Outside, the wind hit my face, and for the first time in weeks, I didn't feel like I was suffocating. It was over. The lies. The manipulation. The performance. And I was done playing the fool. A week passed. No contact. I thought she'd show up at Jason's. Try to cry her way back into my life or beg one more time. But she didn't. Maybe she finally got the message. Or maybe she was too busy putting out fires at work, trying to fix the mess she and Bradley created. I didn't care. That week, I started going through old stuff, emails, photos, random saved texts. Not to torture myself, but to cleanse, to purge. It was like sorting through the burned remains of a house fire. Some things looked fine on the surface, until you picked them up and realized they were charred to the core. There was one email that got me. An old one. From years back. She'd written it after our anniversary. Called me her rock. Said I made her feel safe in a world that always tried to break her. Yeah. I guess I was her rock. Until she decided rocks were boring. The divorce papers were officially filed. I signed my part. Jason couriered the rest to her. The next bomb dropped on a Thursday. I was driving back from the gym, phone connected to Bluetooth. When it rang, Jason. "Hey," I answered, wiping sweat off my neck. Tyler, where are you? Car. What's up? He hesitated. Kayla showed up at my office. I tightened my grip on the wheel. What the hell does she want? She said she wants to contest the divorce. I laughed out loud. On what grounds? Infidelity? She's the one who cheated. She's claiming emotional abandonment. Said you neglected her emotionally the last 2 years. I almost swerved. Is this AF asterisk 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 and a joke? I wish it were. She also said the video was edited and taken out of context. That woman had no shame. None. Let her try. I've got receipts, Jason, texts, timeline, even her own damn voice messages. I know, he said calmly. We've got her dead to rights. But brace yourself. She's trying to drag this out. She doesn't want to lose spousal support. Of course she doesn't, I muttered. Bloodsucker's afraid of living off her own dime. She's panicking, man. Bradley's wife froze their accounts. HR's investigating both of them. Kayla's business took a hit too. Some clients dropped her after the scandal. Good, I said coldly. Let her feel what it's like to watch everything crumble. By the time I got home, I was fuming. My head buzzed like a hive of angry wasps. That's when I opened my front door and nearly ran into her. She was there, sitting on the steps like she belonged there. I didn't say a word, just stared. I wanted to talk, she said, standing up slowly. You've got some nerve showing up here. I didn't know where else to go. You had plenty of places to go when you needed a bed to roll around in. Try those. She blinked, stunned. Tyler, please. Everything's falling apart. Bradley ghosted me. He won't answer my calls. His wife changed the locks. I lost 2 major contracts. What does any of that have to do with me? Her voice cracked. I miss you. You miss stability. Not me. No, she said, stepping closer. I miss your arms around me at night. Your dumb jokes in the morning. The way you... I held up my hand. Don't. Just don't. Tears started falling. Real ones this time, maybe. Or maybe she just got better at pretending. I didn't mean to ruin us, she whispered. I thought I could have both, him and you. But he was never you. I was stupid. I let something cheap destroy something real. And now that the fantasy's over, you want your safety net back? I asked coldly. She nodded, lips trembling. Well, I'm not that guy anymore, I said. You burned that version of me. Her breath hitched. You can cry, Kayla. You can beg. Hell, you can even camp out here all night. But I'm not stepping back into that fire. Not again. She didn't follow me when I walked inside. I closed the door in her face, locked it, and stood there in the silence. Not shaking, not crying, just finally done. Let her rot in the mess she made. I wasn't her damn backup plan. The next day she was gone. Not a text, not a note, just vanished like she'd never sat on my porch crying crocodile tears. I won't lie. Part of me thought she'd pull some dramatic stunt, try to trap me with pity or legal tricks. But for once, she did the smart thing and disappeared. I was finally breathing without a knot in my chest. But peace didn't last long. That weekend, I went to a friend's birthday party, Jordan, an old college buddy. We'd drifted a bit over the years, but he'd heard the news, reached out, insisted I come. Let loose, he said. You've earned it. It was at a rooftop bar downtown, music blasting, skyline glowing. I tried to enjoy it. I really did. I laughed, had a drink, even flirted with a woman named Erin, who had this sharp smile and a laugh that didn't sound fake. Then I heard her name. Not Erin's, Kayla's. She's here. I turned. Jordan's wife, Marissa, stood next to me, drink in hand, wide-eyed. I swear to God, I just saw her walk in with some guy. I followed her gaze. And yeah, there she was, Kayla, in a red dress too tight for decency, too bold for someone claiming heartbreak. Her hair curled perfectly, lips painted blood red, arm locked with a guy who looked 25 if that. Muscles, baby face, overconfident smirk. She knew I was there. She'd come on purpose. Our eyes locked. She smirked. That bitch smirked. I felt the rage rise like lava under my skin. But I didn't move. I didn't storm over. I didn't cause a scene. I pulled out my phone. Hit record. If she wanted another performance, I'd give her an audience. She walked right up to me like it was a date night reunion. The boy toy beside her barely knew where to look. "Tyler," she purred. "Didn't know you'd be here." "Sure you didn't," I said, holding the camera casually in my hand. "New guy," she giggled, leaning into him. "This is Chase. He's a personal trainer." Of course he was. Chase looked awkward as hell, like he suddenly realized this wasn't a casual intro. It was a landmine. She turned back to me. "You look good. Divorced life suits you." "You look desperate," I said. "But hey, maybe that's your thing now." Her eyes flared, and for a second the mask slipped. "Still bitter, huh?" "No. Just recording." Her smile faltered. "What?" I flipped the phone around, screen facing her. "Say hi." She reached for it, but I stepped back. "Don't touch my property, Kayla. That's how you got into trouble last time. Remember, people were watching now." Quietly, phones out, whispers rippling. "Good. Let her feel it. Let her burn." "You're pathetic," she spat. "Still playing the victim." I laughed. "No, I'm just finally letting people see the real you. This is who you are. Chasing attention, faking sincerity, dragging around a new guy to make yourself feel wanted." Chase mumbled something about needing the bathroom and slipped away. She was alone now. I kept filming. "You humiliated me," I said low enough that only she could hear. "You could have ended things clean, but instead you dragged me through mud. Lied to my face every day. Screwed your boss. And now you want to pretend you're thriving." Her voice was shaking. "You're cruel. You cheated. I recorded. That's not cruel. That's karma." I hit stop and slipped the phone into my pocket. Kayla turned and walked away, head down for once. She didn't speak to anyone else the rest of the night. She left 20 minutes later. And me? I stayed. I had another drink. Talked to Erin again. We even danced. For the first time in months, I felt light, like I was finally shedding the weight of everything she put me through. It was more than closure. It was freedom. A month passed. The court finalized the divorce. No spousal support. No assets transferred. I kept the house, the car, my peace. She tried to challenge the video again. Said it was revenge porn. But my lawyer shut it down instantly. Everything was recorded legally, in a public place, and all I did was capture her words, her face, her truth. And the truth, it turns out, is radioactive when you're a professional liar like Kayla. I didn't hear from her again after that night at the party. She ghosted the friend group, deleted her socials, and from what Jordan told me, she quit her job too. Bradley got fired. His wife divorced him and took the kids. Apparently, he moved back in with his parents. Good. Let them start over from nothing. The way they tried to leave me, I thought I'd feel more satisfaction, watching everything collapse around her. I mean, yeah, I did at first. Seeing her fall from grace, watching her scramble for control, it was justice. But after a while, it started to feel like watching a house burn that you used to live in. Even if you're glad to be out, part of you remembers the good rooms too. The laughter, the warmth, the part where you trusted that house not to collapse on you. It messes with you, and yet I healed. Not all at once. Some nights were rough. I'd wake up and reach across the bed like she was still there. I'd hear her voice in my head, laughing, lying, moaning. It took a while to stop blaming myself for not seeing it sooner, for missing the signs, for trusting someone who was so damn good at pretending. But I got there. I started working out again, not to impress anyone, just to feel like myself. I picked up an old hobby, photography. Turns out, capturing things honestly is therapeutic when you've spent years being lied to. Erin and I kept talking. No pressure, no rush. She knew everything. I was upfront. I told her I wasn't ready to dive into something serious, and she respected that. She didn't try to fix me, just listened. She made me laugh, and for the first time in forever, I didn't feel like I had to wear a mask around someone. One night, she came over, and we sat on the back porch with wine and quiet music. She looked at me and said, "You know, you're not bitter. You're just honest. And that scares people who lie for a living." I didn't respond. I just kissed her. Not out of lust. Not to replace Kayla. Just because it felt real. And real was something I hadn't had in a long damn time. Looking back now, if I could talk to the man I was that day in the parking lot, the moment I hit record, I'd tell him this: let her unravel. Let the truth speak louder than revenge. Let the mask fall and walk away. Because no matter how much it hurts, no matter how betrayed you feel, holding on to a lie out of love is worse than walking away alone with your dignity. Don't chase closure from someone who shatters trust with a smile. Don't beg for honesty from a snake. Don't ask a storm to stop raining when it thrives on chaos. Let her go. Let her drown in the mess she made. And remember, sometimes catching someone red-handed isn't the end. It's the beginning of finally being free.